Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today is day 11 of the push to top 100. And in this episode, I'm going to be focusing on how to use this Root Rider army and specifically where to place your RC and what value you're looking for when, doing your RC walk. Before we start with the video, big shout out to Drex for making me a banner and profile picture. You guys, if you're interested in getting a profile picture or banner, should definitely check him out. His Discord is ZDREX. So ZDREX. All right, let's get into the attacks. I'm going to explain exactly how to best use your RC in the beginning to funnel your troops. All right, this base right here. I've already hit this base before, but on this base, the town hall here sticks out a lot. So if you get rid of the town hall, then everything else is a pretty clear path for your Root Riders. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my RC at this top side. Make sure you place her before the timer starts. So that way you can use the timer at the top to look at the timings instead of having to count yourself. So what I look for is when the timer hits 7, I always place an invis. And right now, we're using the 7-3 trick because I accidentally let my fox die. Or actually, I didn't accidentally do it. The Giga Bomb just went off and killed my fox. But otherwise, with the 7 trick, you're able to do your RC timings without having to count. So that's really good. Next, gonna wall break right here. Ice Golem, King, Queen, and a Super Barb on this side to just funnel everything in. Then I'll place my roots here. And yeah, we're gonna save the Super Barbs and the Goblins for the back end, just for cleanup. Next, I use my King ability to just push all my roots inside the base, and I'll use the Warden as they enter into this high damage area over here. When the Warden ability wears off, I'm gonna overgrowth this to keep everything together, and also cover the Fire Spitter so nothing's hitting my roots. Then I'll use the Super Barbs on this side to clean stuff up and push them back into the right side of the base. Ooh, there's a Tesla right there. It's alright. Then I'll use the little looter goblin guys to distract on the back end for any remaining troops that I still have. And yeah, this is looking pretty crushed right now. Gonna use the freeze here to protect my RC. Again, we're going with the audio from the game. I heard that you guys said it was a little bit too quiet in the last video. To be honest, I just turned it like really down a lot because I wasn't sure if it would be too distracting for me. But turns out it's fine because this army isn't as much counting and timing as dragons, so it should be fine. Alright, next attack, this base here. It's the same kind of general plan, except I'm going to use my RC to take out this Monolith here. Then I'll use my King and Queen to funnel into this Town Hall, and I'll use the Earthquake Boots to open up that compartment and let my Queen in. So I'm going to start my RC right here. And just going to immediately redirect her for this Monolith. So I'm using the Invis to redirect her to take out this Monolith, because the Monolith really sticks out on this base, and it's like a point in the base where the pathing isn't as good as, isn't as straight of a line. So that's why we're using that. Next, just going to use this to clear this Expo, and that's all the value that we need. I don't really need that Fire Spitter because it's facing the other way, so we're not going to worry about that. Then we're going to start Ice Golem, Roots here, and then the other Ice Golem here with the Queen. And then I want my King to for sure walk on the outside. So I'm placing him over there. Now I'm placing my RC in. When these balloons die, or when they start to hit a lot of damage, then I'll use the Troop Thrower. The Troop Thrower is mainly to protect the healers because I use minions and balloons in it. And then as stuff walks in, I'm going to use the Warden ability, King ability here to open up all the walls over there. And I'm going to use the overgrowth spell on the back end here when the rage tower goes off. So as you can see, all the balloons coming out of the troop launcher are protecting my healers against these red mines. It's going to overgrowth this here. Nice. Queen's going to take out the town hall. Then I'll use these goblin things to distract, and then super barbs to go in, take stuff out. Some more goblins there. Nice. This is another triple here. Unfortunately, today is another one of those days where I'll have to go triple to go positive, but I think we got it. Just gotta be careful with how we're doing our attacks, and we should be good. I've gone perfect every day except for one in the past week, so it's really good. Swag last spell here. Nice. Alright, this base here. This is an event base from a while ago. I think it's tweaked a little bit, but it's the same idea. RC is always going to be used for pathing. So I want to get this monolith off the rip. And same approach, going into one of the rage towers, and I'll overgrowth the other one. So we're going to use my RC here. I think she'll walk this way, so I'll use the invis. And then once this wizard tower goes down, I'm going to redirect her into the monolith. Nice, so she's going for the monolith now. Now I'll invis one more time on 7. Making sure to work with the timings there. So my RC is going down to the left side. Once this cannon gets taken out, then the pathing will be pretty set for our routes. Maybe I'll let her take the expo as well. That's decent value right there. And also just narrows down the pathing more. So I'm going to let her take that stuff over here. And I'm just going to pick her up because I don't want, even though it's probably safe, I just don't want the, what is that called? I don't want the town hall taking out the fox. So that's why we're doing that. Is the ice golem getting targeted? Okay, that's good. Now routes in here, going into the town hall. Alright, my king is walking, but that's fine. Queen's going to take out the single inferno. King's going on the outside. It's alright. Can have him open up these walls here. Take out some of those defenses. Nice, everything's pushing in. Now we use this because the balloons died. And then as everything comes into the core, I'll use the Eternal Tome as stuff starts to split up a little bit. That's the trick here. You got to really hold on to your Eternal Tome as long as possible. My RC's not exactly where I want her to be, but that's alright. Once this Rage Tower goes off. Alright, now overgrowth that. Use the RC ability with these Goblin guys to tank. Just a few shots. I mean, if they can tank anything, then that's good. And yeah, this is looking crushed again. Still have a bunch of troops up. Still have my queen ability. Gonna freeze anything on the back end that needs support. Yeah, it should be a triple. Gonna freeze the fire spitter because that's the highest damage that's still left on the base. We're primarily just worried about single point damage because we don't want our queen or RC dying, but it looks good right now. So yeah, it's another triple. Hopefully this volume is not too loud. I don't know yet. Alright. An invis base. So on this base, I want to use a log launcher, so I'm going to switch that right now. Then I want to clear one of the side compartments because I want to enter into this invis compartment with my roots. Because the back end, there's almost nothing. Then I'll use my king and queen on the other side to funnel my roots into the compartment. So I'm starting on this side here because the left side is usually less trapped than the right side. I've explained this in some of my videos, but people are right-handed, most people at least, so they usually find it easier to RC charge on the right side. That's why we're starting on the left. And that's really good for us because there's no traps here. Or at least not a lot. Like my fox not going to die. RC not taking a bunch of damage. So that's good. Alright, she's actually going in. Never mind. We're going to pick her up here. Wow, the fox did not come along. Okay, that's fine. King and queen on this side. Gonna wall break into this compartment. Using the baby drag to funnel there. Then sending the roots here. Use the log launcher early to activate this invis tower. And then I'll use the king ability as well, just to take out all those buildings over there and push everything in the right direction. Queen's going to ability 2, which is not great, but should be fine since I still have all of my roots alive. And I can use some of these invises here to support. Gonna rage everything as they enter into this core area and taking a bunch of damage. Yeah, this is looking really good right now. Honestly, I think this base is already crushed. I don't think I need anything else. Gonna use my RC ability here. Using the goblin guys to just tank on the back end. These guys are so funny. I mean, I guess it's good that we get to use them for this, but yeah, this base is not a great base, to be honest. We're gonna swag, what is that? 6 spells on this base? Yeah, this is absolutely crushed. So as you can see though, most of the time, we don't need too much value with our RC. There are very few times where I use all of my invises. It's just for precaution. So like, sometimes the bases are really hard to funnel, and so you have those extra invises just in case, but you really don't need them. Alright, next base here. This is Talon's. This is one of my friends from Spartans. Unfortunately, I know this base. I hit it yesterday. The way I'm going to approach this is the same, where I can send my king and queen into this town hall compartment. Then I'll use my RC to funnel on the left side, again, because it's less likely to be trapped. Then I'll send my roots into this compartment and enter into the core. So that's the plan. Starting with my RC right here. On 7, placing the invis. I'm going to switch to the right siege so I don't accidentally use the log launcher. Nice. So she should take the air defense and then go to the cannon. I don't really care if she gets the monolith, because that's not affecting the pathing of our roots at all. Using the last invis here, I just need this bomb tower to go off and the pathing is really set. And the fox can run 1 cycle here. So perfect. Using the recall right there, pick her up. Ice golem here, king, queen. Honestly, not a lot of damage at the start of the other side, so I'm going to use another ice golem on this side. Then we start our roots here. And RC to kill the enemy queen. Take away some of the damage over there. King goes to ability. That's alright. Then we're using the troop launcher here. Ooh, entering into a lot of damage over here, but that's alright. As soon as the roots go into this main compartment here, I'm gonna use the Eternal Tome. Ooh, healer almost gets hit there, so I use the Eternal Tome. Now when the tome wears off, I'm gonna overgrowth these back-end Infernos so all the troops still enter back into the same area. Then I'll use these little goblin guys, the super barbs, to tank on the back end. Using my RC ability in the core. And then I still have 2 invises and a freeze to use on the back end to support for this monolith, probably. That's probably where the freezes will go, just to protect our RC. Otherwise, this is looking crushed. And that's why you don't use all your invises at the start, because invises are just the same thing as a freeze. It's a few second redirect for your troops in the very beginning, or I guess at the end of the attack. I don't even need these spells. This base is crushed already. So nice. Alright, next base here. This is another rage base. How am I going to approach this? So the fire spitters are offset, so I don't want to enter into both of them. So what I'll do is I want to start my roots from this side, and I want to clear pathing for my roots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the RC at the top right here. Funnel out this side. Probably going to let my RC take the cannon and the archer tower. Actually, no. Gonna just invis that and push my RC into the monolith right away, because she can walk back and take the cannon. Now we're using on 7 again. So the main thing with the RC is you need to look for pathing for your root riders. Of course, having good value, like taking out good value defenses is really very important. But for the most part, root riders are so strong that you don't really need it. You just need the good pathing so they stay together and the healer's effect can just work on everything at the same time. If you have that, then the base should be crushed anyways. So you don't really need like the craziest value for your RC walk. So using the king and queen on the outside, I want the king to just open up this compartment over here, maybe take out a bunch of the big defenses. Using my warden ability as they enter into this big damage area. And it's pretty much the same idea here. So when the back end rage tower goes off, then I'm going to overgrowth that to just take away the effect entirely. Then here, using the RC ability to take out the town hall, I can snipe that with the spear, overgrowthing the back end. And then some of my roots are splitting off up to the top here, so I'm going to use the goblins and the super barbs on the back end just to support there. Still have some spells, so I'll use this headhunter to go in and take out some of these heroes. And I have my queen ability as well. Nice. There's a lot of damage right here, so as soon as this wakes up, I'm just going to freeze it. King, fire spitter, and the multi-gear cannon. It's a lot of good value. Then I'll use the invis on the back end just to support my RC. If she gets targeted by the single inferno or anything like that. No, it doesn't look like it. We don't need it. Nice. Alright. Another invis base. Honestly, these aren't too difficult. Just have to form a good funnel and push our roots into the core. So the idea is I take out one side of my RC. I'm going to pick this side here. Then I'm going to use my king and queen to funnel this side. Send the roots straight into the middle. And then overgrowth whatever keeps the roots together with the heroes. So I'm going to use my RC here. Looks like it was trapped, but that's alright. Since we have 5 invises and the extra passive damage from the rocket spear, we should be able to funnel pretty much any base. As long as we do our timings correct. So yeah, taking out this side here. It's great. See, a few more seconds. Alright, now, next invis. Actually, it wasn't that trapped. There aren't any, like, bombs or anything like that. So it looks like my fox will stay alive here, which is really good. Is she gonna go up or down? Okay, she's going up. Just using the last invis here. I don't need her to take out or get too much value. And I want the fox to stay alive. So I'm actually gonna use... pick her up right there. Using my queen to take out that building, so my my king will definitely walk down to the way that I want him to go. Then I'll use the log launcher. I use the log launcher really far in the front so the invis tower gets triggered early. Being patient with my my warden ability here. Okay, that side gets funneled. So now... as everything enters into the middle, using the warden ability, I think one thing is really important is to delay the warden ability as much as you can, because it has the healing effect, and you're essentially wasting that if you don't let your troops take a little bit of damage. So here, using the overgrowth, gonna break this giant into that part of the base and funnel that, so that way the giant goes in, takes the inferno. Then I'll use the goblins here, some of the super barbs and archers. And yeah, this base is absolutely crushed. Invis bases are really easy. You just have to make sure to use the log launcher. Still have so many troops alive. And then I'm just gonna swag. I already know I don't need these spells, so I'm just gonna use those. All right, last attack here. These bases are usually a lot tougher. This is a syndicate base. What will I do? I think I'll enter from this bottom side here. Looks like the defenses are pretty tightly packed. And I'm going to go into one of the fire spitters. Sending my RC here. Can't plan for too long because I don't want to have to count for my RC. So all I need is pretty much for her to take out this Expo and the scatter shot here. Once that's taken out, should be pretty good pathing for our roots. Hopefully our Fox can stay alive, but I mean, totally fine if it doesn't. There's a lot of damage over here, so I get it. If it dies, yeah, it dies there. Okay, that's fine. Gonna use this because it's just gonna pick up an Inferno and really solidify the pathing on the back end. Yeah, and I'll pick her up right there. I don't need any more value there. Queen here. King here with the... Wow, Queen is taking a lot of damage right now. So I'm actually going to invis her just to keep her alive a little bit longer. Or at least not go to ability like right off the start. But she might still go to ability, which is fine. Wow, a lot of damage off the rip as well. Gonna hold on to my Warden ability a little bit. So when the troops kind of converge here, I'll use the Warden ability now. Actually, there wasn't too much damage there. Maybe I should have held it a little bit longer. Raging that. Gonna overgrowth this so my RC goes back up to the top. Gonna use the goblins here and the super barbs to support on the back end. Queen's still up. Nice. Gonna use this baby drag to take out the cannon on the backside so I don't have to deal with that. Ooh, this is not looking too good for us. Is this a fail? Might be a fail, so I'm gonna pick up some more percent there. No, it doesn't look like a fail, actually. I still have a freeze, still have the giant alive. The giant is so powerful. So as long as some root riders open up the walls here, do I still have any roots alive? Maybe not. Maybe I don't have roots, but the giant can just walk up and take the wall there. Gotta make sure that giant stays alive. Gonna freeze all the big damage over here. Yeah, this looks like a triple. Okay, this is not the greatest attack. The start, there was a bunch of damage. Maybe it was baited. So that was a bit tough for us, but still managed to pull through here. Pretty good overgrowth spell to redirect everything the right way. And yeah. All right, another 320 day for us, but once again plus 10. So we're really not having a good time here, but it's all right. Still still going positive, so that's what matters. Should be able to finish the day. I mean, we still got 3.5 hours. Should be able to finish the day around maybe 500-600. I reached it around top 400 in the world last night. So thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you were able to learn a lot from this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.